unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live, Boxingego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Hey, stop that cat. Free Smoke Jr. In shape. Ego Weight Watchers. We back at it. Errol Spence set y'all up. You fell for the mouse trap. You heard? What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. July 29th is going down. Meet me in the trap. It's going down. Anytime you see me, guaranteed to go down. Undisputed. We got the Ring Magazine belt. Undisputed titles at stake. Errol Spence is bringing 3 belts to the potluck. Terence Crawford bringing 1 belt, the WBO belt, to the potluck. In the Ring Magazine, the vacant Ring Magazine, they believe that this is a fight of the magnitude where the winner has to be crowned with the Ring Magazine title. Boom, we have a fight. So you see, I set the stage. You see why your boy Boxingego is excited for this fight. It's been a long time coming. Now, I must say, Errol Spence has proven a lot of y'all wrong again. I will explain. Ego Weight Watchers, aka ILL, where I give you a look into the fighter lifestyle before, after, and progress picks, especially when they have that upcoming fight. Like I said, July 29th. You heard. Let's get into it, man. So, Errol Spence, this is how he proved people wrong. The man is in shape, and I'm gonna keep making videos about it as long as I keep seeing the progress. We're talking about, as of me recording this video, 50 days away. There's 50, it's 50, aka Ferrari. Hey, you gotta do something, baby. I said, shell, hear my tongue, I ain't wait for Doc to get it out. Here's my wisdom tooth, spit it out, I don't smell that. 50, I said it, 5-0, 50 days away until July 29th as of me recording this video, and Errol Spence is in shape. Now, the reason I am saying this and I'm pointing out Errol Spence is because I've seen it with old media and I've seen it with the haters. The haters can't stand it. The PBC detractors, the constant race fans that always hate black fighters, they were at it again. And because Errol Spence is aligned with PBC and Al Heyman, and for whatever else weirdo reasons, he got the brunt of it, right? I think because Terence Crawford, even though he's a black fighter as well, he was signed for a long time to Top Rank, and people are viewing, the people who are anti-PBC, they're viewing Terence Crawford as Star Wars The Last Hope. He's considered the PBC killer if Terence Crawford can beat Errol Spence. And I know it sounds real like Bloods and Crips, but that's how boxing is. You got a lot of fans and people pick sides. Not me though, but people, they pick sides. Now, I seen it in the comment section. People were saying, oh, but Errol's fat. Errol's not in shape. Errol's not wanting to fight. Wrong. Errol Spence, time and time again, and I got a more detailed video. I got to put it together. So you do what I say and subscribe to the channel, because that video will be coming before the fight. But 50 days away from the actual fight, they haven't even done their press tour. It's a 2-city press tour in Los Angeles and New York, which is next week, and Errol Spence is already in shape. Throughout this video, I'm showing you updated photos of Errol Spence. Errol Spence set a lot of people up for failure, because even though the negotiations for the Terence Crawford fight were lingering on, you're a lingerer, and they were laboring on, and people in that time, see, what I've noticed from making money online for all these years, what I noticed is, especially people like me, because my G-Files is clean, I don't have a bunch of smut on my resume and a bunch of smut on my record. So when people don't know, and I keep my personal life private throughout the years, right? I don't have a bunch of like scandals, and you know, people don't know no like crazy dirt on me, anything like that. So that being said, when people don't know enough about you, they make it up. They say you should never make an assumption because it makes it out of you and me, and that's true. And while Errol Spence and Terence Crawford were in these deeper negotiations, people were picking sides and saying Errol Spence didn't really want it, and he and Al Heyman were holding up the fight. In fact, Max Kellerman on his week show, Max on Boxing, he said that Al Heyman does not put his guys in the ring with people that I guess Heyman feels have the potential to beat him. Now we know on paper, this is a 50-50 fight / a great fight. So Max Kellerman looks foolish because how can you say Al Heyman won't put his fighters in dangerous fights, but then he put Danny Jacobs in a situation where Danny Jacobs went on to fight Triple G. But even more recently, you got cool boy Stephen Fulton, a Philly fighter and champion, and he's fighting in Japan against a beast Japanese fighter, Naoya Inoue. So how can you say that, right? You put Caleb Plant in there with not only Canelo, but David Benavidez. But since we're talking about like fighters who aren't necessarily linked, you put Caleb Plant in there with Canelo, and Canelo is capable of beating him. So Errol Spence, Terence Crawford has a shot to beat Errol Spence. That's why we all want to see the fight. Now, I'm not saying this is my fight prediction, but we know on paper it should be a good one in a doozy and a banger and a barn burner, right? So that being said, Max Kellerman looks foolish. He said that Al Heyman would not risk it, and he don't risk it, and he would wave the white flag as opposed to putting on a dangerous fight. Meanwhile, you got other promoters, and I'm not going to make a whole smear campaign because I'm Boxingego. I don't have to do that. But you have other promoters that are out there in boxing, and when have they ever made a fight where, actually, I am going to say names. Let's say Top Rank. Name a time where Top Rank made a fight where there was an outsider that you really thought was the goods and was undefeated and had the style to beat that other person, and Top Rank made the fight. And I'm saying by themselves. Not like no joint promotion or anything, by themselves. Or DAZN or whoever else. Like Canelo's fighting John Ryder. They're not bringing David Benavidez over or Better Biev over to fight Canelo on DAZN. A guy like Better Biev could stop Canelo, but they're not making those types of fights. So for some reason, the pressure's always on Al Heyman and PBC, and I think we know why. So I'm loving it. Errol Spence, he's making a lot of people look bad and look foolish. The man, during the negotiations, I've been in boxing long enough, and I've seen Errol Spence, talked to Errol Spence, got pictures with Errol Spence, interviewed Errol Spence and Crawford. And the bottom line is this: he was clearly maintaining his body weight and doing something prior to the announcement of this fight. I know that for a fact because I've seen Errol Spence where he was likely, I can't tell you his day-to-day every operation, but I've seen him years ago in between fights, and he was not in this type of shape. So he knew that he was insistent on making this Terence Crawford fight. I don't know what kind of conversations he had with Al Heyman directly, but publicly he told you, everybody knows who I want. I want Terence Crawford. I don't want no other fight. I don't want no tune-up. I don't want no Keith Thurman. And this man really insisted on that and fought hard and made that happen. We all know Errol Spence clearly, and I say clearly, could have fought Keith Thurman. And the Keith Thurman fight, like I've always maintained, was much easier to make because Keith Thurman is not going to have Bud Crawford type of demands because Bud Crawford knew he was the missing link to Errol Spence trying to become undisputed. And he's made great money with Top Rank, towards the end of his career where he was making mills. So he wants a certain type of money because he's probably looking at like, yo, I fought Kell Brook and got 4 to 6 mil or whatever he got for those fights, right? So it was always inherently more difficult to deal with the free agent Terence Crawford and Terence Crawford's attitude and ego. You know what I mean? It was always more difficult to go that route than to make an in-house fight. And that is typically the case. Typically, it's always going to be the case where the in-house fight is much easier to make and to qualify and to pass through negotiations than fighting with an external person. I mean, just think of anything else. Let's say you bought a new car and you bought a Honda. If you go to the Honda dealership, they got the proprietary parts for Hondas. They got mechanics that are Honda certified, and it's going to be easier than going to just some third-party mechanic. He might not have a bunch of Honda parts because that particular mechanic, he might not have that much experience with Honda cars specifically, or brand new Honda like cars with the chips and, you know, the updated hardware on some of the newer models. So it's always going to be easier if you buy a car from a place to go to the dealership, and they're going to have everything you need all in-house, like the parts. All you have to do is pay for parts and labor. And if anyone's going to have the parts on hand, it'll probably be the dealer, as opposed to, again, a Jiffy Lube or a random mechanic who is just servicing all types of cars, not specific to this make and model, right? So that being said, boxing is the same way. It's always going to be easier for PBC to look inward and say, hey, we're making Caleb Plant, David Benavidez, than, hey, we're making Gervonta Davis versus DAZN fighter, Golden Boy fighter, I do believe, Ryan Garcia. Or we're fighting a free agent like Terence Crawford versus our stud, Errol Spence. It's always going to be harder. You've seen it with Tyson Fury. He had to get sued and put in the mediation process with Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Oh my God. In order to make sure the sequels came off. So I'm proud. I'm happy. Errol Spence, he set a lot of people up. People said he was ducking. I heard everything. I heard everything under the sun. Some people try to push this narrative that he was ducking. Max Kellerman and others and old media said that Al Heyman won't make these dangerous type of fights with external sources or outside of the PBC fighters. False, cap. We see it. Inoue fight, just for the record, Fulton Inoue is happening on ESPN, not on PBC. FYI. And it's happening in Japan, as I mentioned earlier in this video. So we now know all these things were lies. The other lie was that Errol Spence wasn't ready and he wasn't staying ready, because I could tell from these pictures, the moment the fight was announced and you start seeing some promotion, not even the official press conference, but just regular promotion, you could already see Errol Spence is in shape. Like when Ryan Garcia joined the Derek James stable and gym and them pictures came out, I made a video, Ego Weight Watchers often imitated but never duplicated. And I let you know, like, hey, I can tell right there, Errol Spence has been doing his thing and staying ready, because he's been gunning for this Crawford fight, and he was relentless. Denzel Washington, man on fire. Until he got this fight, he got it. And I like what I'm seeing, because I can tell he's taking this serious. So win, lose, or draw, may the best man win. But I like to see a focused Errol Spence. Long time coming for this fight. I'm the best in the business, and it's not even close. Ego Weight Watchers, subscribe if you like content like this, boxing news and more. Order the Inoue fight from me. Use my ESPN Plus affiliate link. Oh my God, I'm the best in the business. Just subscribe. Introducing Super Thanks. Right here on the official Boxingego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with the $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a super thanks. A brand new interactive and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super thanks. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.